Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Confessions of a Paper Addict's 20 Days of Cutfiles. And you can go get 25% off in the shop. That ends today in the US and the 20th in New Zealand, which I guess technically it is at this time. So, yeah, I don't know. Somehow I got all of my days mixed up, and I still have one more cut file to share, so I don't know where I missed. Maybe I missed a day. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll share that one tomorrow. So it'll still be 20 days of cut file, but somewhere in there I missed one. So I'll be making up for it tomorrow. So my apologies for that. But the cut file that I'm using right now is called the Baking Border, and it comes with two strips like this. They are actually using two different sets of kitchen utensils or kitchen appliances. And so I really like this cut file because it was a lot of fun to work with, and doing a double page, I thought it was perfect because you can split it in half and do, you know, one strip on one page and one on the other. And I have 6 photos, so I'm going to do 3 photos on each page. I know it looks like I am just going to use those cut files on that red sheet of paper, but I'm not. I'm going to cut that in not quite half. It's going to be like a third and a third, and I'm going to use it on each of the green papers. So I don't know why I didn't cut the paper first, the red paper, but maybe because I wasn't quite sure about getting it the right width with the cut file. So what I'm trying to do is line up the paper so that I can cut out any of the red paper that is to the right of the cut files on the right hand side, and any paper that is to the left of the cut file on the left hand side, because I don't want that red peeking out. I want it to have the green showing underneath. And you're going to see some of that, but I'm not really great about keeping my hand under the camera, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on cutting out like the pieces that are showing underneath the whisk. I don't want that to show. And the pieces that are showing like between the different things like the cupcake and the scale and such, I'm just trimming that out, and so that the green will be underneath that side. So it's almost like you're doing half of it red and half of it green. And I like the way that it looks. So I did back all of these cut files with some really interesting paper, and I apologize that I didn't show that to you, and I don't even know where I got it or what it's called, but it's kind of like got a crinkly metallic texture to it. So all of the things kind of have a little bit of texture, and they're a little bit shiny. I did use silver mirror paper from Tonic Studios for any of the silver pieces, but the red and the brown and the tan or cream color pieces, those are all cut out of this other paper. So if I can find anything like it online, I will try to link it down below. But I'm not even really sure what to search on. And it's been in my stash for ages, so I thought I would go ahead and use it. I am using my notebook punch to punch down one side of this piece of white paper. It was just in my scrap bin. And I'm going to just make a journaling spot. What I end up doing, I wasn't really 100% sure what I was going to do with the red paper there, besides leave it on the sides. But what I end up doing is making it look like it is underneath those photos, and that it spans across underneath the photos. And you're going to see that here, the leftover piece of the red and white polka dot paper, I am going to cut a strip off of it to go on the opposite side of the photos where it doesn't have any of that red polka dot paper. And I really like the way that it looks, and it's a great way to use a single sheet of paper on a double page layout and make it look like like you had 2 full sheets, because you certainly don't need 2 full sheets for this. And I actually even had a little bit left over. So those 2 strips that I just put over to the right hand side there, those are going to go on the opposite side of the photos where the large swatch of red and white polka dot paper is not. I did trim a little bit off the top of the red and white polka dot paper so that it doesn't reach all the way to the top of the green. And I actually wanted it so that it would not reach the top of the photos either, because then it wouldn't look like it stretched underneath the photos. I want it to definitely look like it stretches underneath. So in order to do that, it has to be a little bit shorter. I mean, you could line it up exactly, but then it's a little bit harder because sometimes, if you don't cut exactly straight, it'll show that, a little bit of it peeking out. So in this case, it's just a little bit better to have your photos be a little bit wider or taller than the other piece of paper. I pulled out my I think it's Rustic Wilderness. Is that what it's called? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Oh my goodness. Green Oxide ink. I will link that down below as well. Oh my goodness. It's kind of late here while I'm voicing this, and my brain is a little bit fried. So, and it is the perfect green to match the green paper that I chose. And I believe the green paper that I chose is from Close to My Heart. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. I don't have a lot of Close to My Heart paper. When I do get it, I've usually gotten it from MK, or someone else has gifted it to me. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure, and I don't have the branding strips, or I think they call them zip strips. I don't have any of that. So I'm liking the way this is coming together, and I just want to make sure that everything lines up top to bottom. You saw that little green strip of paper that I had there. I was just kind of making sure that everything was straight across from the left-hand page to the right-hand page with regard to that strip of paper, the red and white strip of paper. And now I'm just using my T-square ruler to make sure everything lines up. I couldn't use my T-square ruler to line up the right-hand page with the left-hand page because my T-square ruler is only wide enough to go across one page. It would not go across two pages, so that's why I just used that strip of paper. And that's just a quick little tip on how to do that if you don't have a ruler that's quite long enough. Now, what I'm documenting here is this is my mom and my daughter, and they are making cinnamon rolls. This is something we do every year at Christmas time. I have documented it before, but more recently, my kids have taken over the task of making the cinnamon rolls. My mom kind of just supervises, but my kids kind of, my son starts the dough and gets it. You have to knead it quite a bit, and so he does all of that process. And by the time it has risen and everything, my daughter is here, and she does the rolling out and putting the cinnamon, sugar, and all that kind of stuff on it. And then by the time it's time to take them out of the oven, I'm the only one left around, and so I take them out of the oven. And so it's kind of become a job for the next generation. But I wanted to document this because this is 2007, I believe, and my mom and my daughter are making these cinnamon rolls, and I actually have photos of my daughter making these with my mom, or might even be with my grandma, from when she wasn't even as tall as the counter. So it's just been an ongoing thing. The kids are always included in all of the Christmas activities, including the baking, and it's been that way since they were little. So I'm just making a note of that and talking about that. I did use these white thickers. Seeing them on the screen, they read very well, but in real life, they didn't. And so I put some green Sharpie on them, and in real life, they look better than they do on the screen. So it's kind of interesting how the white looked better on the screen, but not in real life, and then the reverse is true in real life. So I'm not adding a lot more embellishment to this layout just because it doesn't really need a whole lot more. I am just going to add these two velvet bows, and which is interesting because I'm not a huge fan of bows, but these were sitting on my desk from another page that I did, and so I thought I'll just use those up and get them out of my stash. And I think they work really well just to kind of finish off the page. And then I just add my journaling, and that's pretty much it. So if you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. And don't forget that in my description box down below, there is a list of people playing along with this hop. and they are using whatever cut files they decided to use or that they chose for their photos. Not everybody is using the same thing on the same day, so you'll have lots of different inspiration. And a lot of us are using them differently. I know that MK used either this file or the baking wreath, which has the same elements in it, only in a circular, on a different day earlier in this series, and she cut them all apart and has them on her double page layout. So it's just a lot of different ways to use different things, different cut files in this series, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope that you go and check out everyone else. And again, any comments, you can leave them below and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, and I appreciate the time that you take to watch my videos. It really does mean a lot to me, and the fact that you have chosen my channel to check out today really does warm my heart, because I know you have a lot of options out there. So thank you for that. I will see you guys again tomorrow with the final video. Bye-bye.